Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing my first donation league stream. This one brought to you by frequent viewer of the chat, Army of Thalia, who knows how much I despise this card, so of course he wanted me to play the new card, Tithe Taker, in Legacy Death and Taxes. It's become a meme if you're on like the Discord at all. It's become a meme of like asking me if I think Tithe Taker is Legacy playable, because I don't really think it is where this deck wants to be. However, I've never played it, obviously, because it just came out on like Thursday or Friday. So it's just awkward because I have a lot of things to say about this card, but the big one is just that it takes up a lot of slots in your deck, and I don't think it provides an adequate benefit for doing that. Streaming 30 minutes earlier, hoping to get a quick 0-3 before anyone sees you. No, I'm actually streaming a little bit earlier because I know Army donated to see this, and he usually goes to bed like before I finish streaming, so he can see more of the stream if I start a little bit earlier. But also, yeah, the quicker I start, maybe no one will see this horrible stream. But anyway, at least I'm not registering Ojutai exemplars like that Miracles player I played against. I do think Tithe Taker is more legacy playable than Ojutai exemplars. But anyway, so this card, its effect is not quite unique. It's similar to Grand Abolisher. It taxes your opponent trying to cast spells on your turn. Taxes them by one more instead of just preventing them, unlike Grand Abolisher. But it also taxes abilities, whereas Grand Abolisher does nothing to abilities. Also, it has the secondary text, when it dies, make a 1/1. It's Flying Spirit. So it's like a Doom Traveler. I actually disagree. It's a tough one. It's maybe it's closer than I'm making it out to be. I don't think either of them are particularly playable. But anyway, so this sort of effect isn't something you're really like wanting to tutor for a lot. So you can't just like, oh, slot this in as a one of and you can recruit it out when you need it. This is an effect that if you want it, it's like a much more minor effect, so I think you need to like be playing it in multiples if you want to get something out of it. And because of that, you're cutting down on a lot of slots in the main deck. I cut from the usual deck list I play, I cut a Hallowed Spirit Keeper, a Walking Ballista, and a Remorseful Cleric. And as such, you just have less slots to play with in the deck. I had to move the Walking Ballista to the sideboard because I think it's actually like it's still good. I had to cut the third Recruiter because I wasn't sure what I wanted to cut, and I think this iteration wants the Chalice of the Voids as well. I think the matchups where you actually want Tithe Taker the most are like the control ones. The only matchups where it's actually like moderately annoying is like especially Grixis, a little bit like towards Miracles, things that actually try to play on your turn a lot of the time. So I cut down on the third Recruiter since that's kind of hate for, or like it's a sideboard card that comes in a lot of the fair matchups. It does come in against unfair matchups too, but it's a lot more minor in those ones. I could have also like cut a Cataclysm, but I also love Cataclysm. Also Cataclysm combos with Tithe Taker. You just sack the Tithe Taker and then you get an extra 1/1. Not exactly wombo comboing or anything. This Terravad, why did I want you to stream this? Because you hate me. Or me, that was established. You wanted to watch me suffer for a league by playing this card. Also, it's not a girl like every other card in Death and Taxes outside of Mirren Crusader. It's not a chick. Yeah, I think that's a. Oh wait, no, Palace Jailer. Yeah, Palace Jailer is definitely a dude. So we can't be white girl wasted because this is clearly a black man. But anyway. So we're gonna hate ourselves for a league here, courtesy of Army of Thalia. So if you want to see any of your own donation deck lists show up on stream, feel free to donate. The instructions for that are down below the stream. It's like $8 for like a normal tiered legacy deck that you just want to see played. $10 for a legacy deck with a unique twist like this one, where it's like you're playing a card that's probably not good, or like playing a deck that's probably not exactly on the same level as some of the other things in Legacy. And then $12 for non-Legacy decks if you want to see Modern, or Standard, or Vintage, or Pauper, or whatever. I have played all those formats once upon a time, so I'm open to almost anything. I don't have any particular qualms. What does Matt Soul's White Eldrazi deck count as? I'd probably count that as, like, Sketch Legacy deck, so I'd probably put that in the $10 camp. Especially because it wasn't Eldrazi, right? It was just, like, Thalia Stompy. It was, like, white Steel Stompy or something. That deck did look sweet, though. Sweeter than this one. Alright, well, this hand is pretty unplayable. Alright, this hand's good. So my hope is that we just draw Tithe Taker as little as possible. Actually, I kind of want to just draw it a bunch to see, so I can actually confirm to myself how bad or actually useful it is. I do like second port, but I also think I just need more action. It was a pile of legacy playable cards. I mean, this deck is a pile of mostly legacy playable cards. So we'll see if we port or Thalia next turn based on what the opponent does. Ooh. Probably porting if my opponent's a City of Traders deck. Oh, nice. Never mind. We're playing Thalia. We in fact cannot Rashad port my opponent. But also, just aggressively running out Blood Moon into, like, the person who goes Basic Plains Aether Vial seems kind of sketch. You're gonna burn your Soul Land and your Spirit Guide for that? Draw, like, Stoneforge would be good. We have a lot of good draws at this point. Hey, that's not bad. Opponent's Red One TNT stream, yeah. We can cast our Magus the Moon now. Opponent's mana fixed us for red. Can't quite cast P and K. How good is Hannah Garrison for TNT? Oh yeah, I saw that. It's a 2/3, right? So I can't just block it. It's way better than Goblin Rabble Master. I was disappointed at the lack of Hannah Battlements in that deck. What's this? This is... Oh, wow, my opponent's on the P and K here. Gotta play with Tithe Taker on Sunday in draft. Alright, so let's attack here and see how my opponent blocks. Hoping at least one of these Thopters blocks so I can Jailer the other. The risk is that P and K can still throw an artifact at the Jailer, but then if they get Monarchy back, we're just trading Monarchy back and forth at that point. I just really don't want to Jailer this P and K. No blocks, huh? Do I slam... I feel like I don't want to slam Jailer here yet. So if I Jailer a Thopter, my opponent can attack me with the Thopter, take Monarchy. They don't get a Thopter back, obviously, because it's a token. They have... This is... How much mana to use? 3 mana? So they can't just, like... They'll have a blocker. They can kill one. Them getting Monarch makes it pretty awkward. That's true, but I don't know how much... I think I'm okay with setting up Mom this turn. If they spend their whole turn throwing a Thopter at it, then I can Jailer after. We're the terrorists. Nonsense. We aren't the terrorists. We're the mono white deck, right? Plus, P and K is a literal terrorist. Oh, that's... I think that is the same joke that Patrick is making from last time we let P and K savage us. This is fine. This looks like a... If he just passes here, just a block Thalia, shoot Crusader. Or no, he has to kill the Mom right now. That's fine. Now we can Jailer the Thopter. What do you think the flavor of P&K? Yeah, P&K's abilities flavor is super terrorism. 3-drop. Oh, sick. That is a good draw. That is a very good draw. Give me that Thopter. I don't think I just want to eat this P&K. If he, like, clears this Jailer out of the way and hits me and takes Monarchy, it doesn't matter, because we still have lethal Endless Wisp. I think I can just pass here. What is this? Opponent is obviously the baddie. Right, just in time to watch Jailer take the... Yeah, Jailer is kind of crushing my opponent. Yeah, Chalice of the Void, chuck it at Jailer. But now we have Flicker Wisp. Just flicker Jailer, block. Quick flicker the P&K. Good plan, good plan. When he attacks with the P&K, I obviously flicker it. Wait, Killing Crusader? I just have lethal, like they're super tapped out. Yeah. Yeah, we did it. Flickers was a really good draw there, but I think they were just dead. So yeah, if they just like kill my Jailer, attack me, then they're literally dead on board. So I think they were just trying to take the most damage off the table. But yeah, they were colossally dead. Alright. So we want to bring in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Yeah, the turn one City Traders Spirit Guide Blood Moon was not super strong against basic Plains Aether Vial Go. So what are we cutting? Definitely Crusader. Man, it's probably like gotta be Tithe is so grossly unplayable in this matchup, right? Like the Afterlife helps against Fiery Confluence. The ability can like muck with P&K activations, but it's just so not good here. And we need to cut like for 8 cards, 8-ish. We don't have to play both these paths. But Tithe just has to be. Yeah, it's bad against Sulfur Element. Oh, yeah, it makes the Sulfur Elemental cost 1 more before it kills the Tithe Taker and the token. All this so they can just not flash it in. I'm cutting these Tithe Takers. This is not the matchup for you, Tithe Taker. Probably cut some number of Moms. Moms, like, ranges it from medium to decent in this matchup. Usually medium minus. They're like red sweepers and really bad against Sulfur Elemental. Usually when you shoot like this, you're allowed to board out the whole horrible card. I mean, I'm still trying to like play the deck to the best of its ability. I'm not going to gimp myself just to like play this card in every match. Or every game. Probably get like 2 Thalias, especially on the draw. Thalia gets worse. Wait, why can't I submit this deck? Oh, I didn't need to cut that many Thalias. Never mind. We're fine going 1-4, but not 0-5. Yeah, we gotta take the wins where we can get them. When we board out Tithe Taker. This hand's got a basic land to plow. Stonefool. It's probably keepable, especially on opponent's Mold of 6. So if they have a quick Rabble Master, we can plow it. We can Stoneforge for whatever. We getting this shit published? God, I hope so. That would be amazing. Yeah, this looks like turn 1, yeah, Legion War Boss. So we're just going to plow it here. weapon. You don't get to go to combat, opponent. Goblin deals me 1. What am I... Oh, actually... Am I just revoking this Chrome Mox? Probably. When it's on just, like, no lands here. Alright. Pretty far ahead here. Attack. Deal me 1. Come at me. Wow, no attack, coward. My recruiting... Don't really have anything to recruit for. I could just, like, Stoneforge for Fire and Ice. Try to get this game over with. It's a little mana inefficient, but probably fine. I'm annoyed about spending $50 in credit on shells, but had no issue spending $200 in real cash on basics. Hey man, those basics are important. Let's grab Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice also protects the Revoker next turn. And just lets me just demolish them with it. Yeah, they found a second land. I want to start porting as well, though. Maybe I should spend 2 turns getting the sword into play. Probably not. Killing them 6 is a lot. And even on 3 mana, they can't. They'd have to rep like a soul land, and then Chandra doesn't even do it because the Revoker has the sword on it. Fiery Confluence could shatter the sword and kill the Stoneforge, but not the Revoker. Ooh, Prelate's nice. The Mystic will never be free. Feels shit. Yeah, you're not wrong there all the time. I was pretty disheartened by the announcement as well. Thanks for the 10-month resub. I appreciate it all the time. Free the Mystic, indeed. Alright, let's go sword. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have, like, a braid here. It'd be a little obnoxious. Alright, yeah, you're dead. They draw Soul Land, Fiery Confluence, we're left with Revoker, and we can play Sanctum Prelate. Also, if they don't, like, immediately have Fiery Confluence, we just put Prelate on 4, and still get to port them, and then the game's, like, super over. So who sucked you into playing Tithe and Legacy? Thank Army of Thalia for this nice donation. What's this? What are they trying to do there? Also, we had a wait. Wouldn't it be like 1 month ago all the time? Isn't that on the 9-month resub? Yeah, Prelate on 4. Unshatterable Prelate on 4 seems pretty strong. They're also just horrendously dead because they're on 2 lands. Getcha. I just want to put this Prelate on 2 and just port them. But safe play is probably... Oh, they... Did I reel my hand? I was clicking up on the arrow, but whatever. Moto. There we go. Opponent concedes to Prelate. Makes sense. Am I supposed to record these? Probably not. I'm including the 1 month of straight of Ross. That I guess that qualifies all the time. I'll allow it. But yeah, thanks for the 10 months. But hey, we won. We won our first match. We're not 0-3ing. Arena's made me hate disinformation campaign more than any other card. I don't know. MTG Arena's like I don't know. It's like fine. It's just a little clunky for like trying to cast things at weird timings. Like trying to cast things not during your main phases or like casting instants during your opponent's turn is kind of obnoxious. But other than that, it's fine. So is Tithe Taker proven the one true way? Yeah, we 2-0'd not close, and we have 3 Tithe Takers in our deck. Easy mode. God, I hope more than anything that this list 5-0s and gets published. MTG Arena is horrible with Nexus. Yeah, seriously. It's horrible playing Nexus, too, because it's so hard to, like, get to your end step and, like, float mana and then, like, let your Teferi trigger resolve and then float more mana and then cast the Nexus. It's just, like, very, very difficult to do things that are pretty easy in MTGO, but, like, within the realm of, like, decks that do normal things and cast spells at normal times, it's a good client. Am I keeping this hand? This hand's like pretty medium. Put them all into 6 though, and I like Mom and Plow, and yeah. Those are all looks you can't cast the Wasteland. I mean, fair. But also, after playing Arena, I don't understand how they'll ever get Modern or Legacy onto that client. It is, it does not seem user-friendly for a complicated format. It seems very good for Standard and Limited, but, like, trying to do any of the nonsense, like Dredge, or, like, just, like, even, like, Death and Taxes with, like, Rashad importing in their upkeeps, or, like, Rashad importing once the upkeep and then letting them draw a card, then porting them again in the draw step, and then there's just so many interactions that just, like, putting a Flusterstorm on the stack. I skipped my turn once today. I did that. Because I don't understand how, like, the pass turn button, because there's, like, a pass priority button, but it doesn't actually pass priority. I've never understood it. Like, it's like F2 in Moto. It passes priority until your opponent puts anything on the stack. You can't just F6. I know a suspicious amount of how playing Nexus works for a D&T player. Dude, Nexus is... I love, like, stupid, busted combo decks in Standard. I don't know why, but that's always been my calling in Standard. It's just, like, dumb, unintuitive, like things that make people hate playing Standard. And right now, Nexus is really filling that niche. Also, back to this game, which I've yet to talk about at all. My opponent is obviously playing Death Shadow, but... So, dismembering my mom. Wow, that is just rude. DS Monster, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Oh, wow, these draws have been excellent these past 2 turns. Plains into second Caracas. Yeah, the last time I played Standard was... Saheeli? Did I play after that? Did I play after Saheeli Standard? I don't think so. The Mono Blue Storm deck. Oh, the Jace's Sanctum deck. I did play Pummeler because it was super budget, and I like won a game day with it back in college. I don't even know if I want to plow this Delver. They're at 8, and just like there are things that are way scarier than this Delver of Secrets. Oh, fuck. I'm also gonna like put this Prelate on 1, so it's awkward. I don't think I'm putting the Prelate on 1 yet, though. Maybe I am. We haven't played into days yet, though, so I might as well continue that. I think we can afford to. We have just a shit ton of lands. Should almost be playing one of these Caracas to bait a wasteland. So this thing's flipping, right? Because they kept on the ponder. Reanimate, alright. Well, if they reanimate my mom, we might need to plow it. The old Oedipus complex. Yep. Oh, it's even... wow, it gets worse the more I think about plowing. Yeah, nope. Not going to finish that sentence. You guys can intuit from there. Ooh. Again, I think we're just going to start playing around. Wait, yeah, my opponent is leaving up 1 mana here, so they can't cast Daze. Notably. Because this thing is not a Grand Abolisher. Guess I'll attack first. Seems kind of amazing if Jailer resolves. Jailer seems like really greedy here this turn. We have plenty of time to catch this Jailer. And my opponent has been like... I would not be surprised if my opponent had a Daze at like any point during this. Yeah, pay 1 for that. Alright, so now we'll play Sanctum Prelate. Now the Jailer also gets a lot worse. Let's put it on 1 here. Tithe Taker confirmed worse than Grand Abolisher. Yeah, it's a lot worse than Grand Abolisher right here, that's for fucking sure. Could have just, like, slammed a Palace Jailer. Yeah, now we're just so far dead. No, we're not dead. We're losing to this Insectile Aberration for sure. Wait, if my opponent uses Mom aggressively, we basically die next turn, but... I mean, some cards are, like, not good, not playable in draft, but also, like, amazing in constructed formats, so it's not a great way to assess it. I assume my opponent's waiting to, like, go for lethal with this Death Shadow next turn, rather than just, like, jam... Oh, jeez, yeah, we're super dead. So is there any way I get out of this alive? What happens if I just right-click attack with all? They can even just let 1 through. They can just, like, kill the Prelate and the Revoker or Mom Jail or something. Yeah, I don't even know if that's, like... Can I afford to Jailer the Insectile Aberration? They're just 2 9/9s. And the Thalia shields are also down because we have to, like, fuck up our Caracas. This turn. Jailer Mom, block the Shadow, get Mom. Oh, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Jailering the Mom gives me the Mom, right? That's how this card works? Under its owner's control, yeah. That checks. But and then block with the... Oh, okay, yeah, I actually like that line. It's not... We can, like, block Tithe Taker and block with Revoker. Okay. I see, I see. I feel like Soul Reads activates the Mom on itself pro-white. Yeah, that makes more sense. It's just like giving one of the things. I mean, it doesn't actually make a lot of sense, but... Don't even technically have to name other roots now, right? Tithe Taker confirmed amazing. Oh yeah, I made them pay the 1 mana. Got them. Oh, and we get the 1 flyer when we jump block. Let's just name... Yeah, I was about to say, now we can name Street Wraith instead. Well, they're at 4, so they're probably not cycling Street Wraith. Let's name Liliana Blasto. Actually, no, let's play Mother of Runes in case this thing gets, like, dazed. We're still blocking. The last card could be dazed. Although, he doesn't have to attack with these Death Shadows, so maybe this was the wrong name? Because now if we get the Mom back, but we can't use it. Maybe that doesn't matter, though. If he's not attacking with Death Shadows, we don't need it. We can't play Jailer first, Revoker second, because then they just activate the Mom, and we don't get to exile the thing. We have to play the Revoker first. Yeah, I think actually naming Liliana the Last Hope... Oh, never mind. Opponent's just crashing. Wait, are we just dead, or do they have a plan? We just block like this, right? Yeah, take that. We got a Spirit. They're also at 4 life. And we have a Prelate on 1. And a Mom? What was that attack? The old right-click, attack all, concede. It's like way worse than just attacking with just Insectal Aberration, right? I think I misplayed. I think I should have definitely named Liliana the Last Hope. But I don't think it... I guess it didn't matter. Damage calcs is for blockers. What a weird game. God, are we just, like, cutting fucking Tithe Taker again? Tithe Taker's so bad against Dread of Night. And Liliana. I guess it's, like, slightly better than the average X1 against Liliana the Last Hope specifically. But, man. Tithe Taker just getting cut every time. Just getting benched. I feel like the only matchups I'm not benching Tithe Taker are, like, Miracles and Grixis. And, like, the Mirror, I guess. I have accepted this fate. I'm trying to, like, I'm trying to objectively analyze the card. Tithe Taker sounds awful versus Miracles. Like, making them play on your turn, or, like, making them play on their own turn, or, like, taxing them seems better than, like, some of the random shitters in this deck, like Mirror and Crusader and Mother of Runes and stuff. And Revokers. Yeah, if they snap plow it, like, if they're playing on their own turn, that's slightly better for you, is the whole deal. But anyway, bringing these, cut some number of X1s, something like that. I think you have to keep it here. You can't say you tried it. Hey, it was in play that game, and it didn't do anything. But it doesn't. It made them hold up a mana or something. No Chalice versus Death Shadow Delver. I'm never sure. Of course, you could have said we've been playing something that mattered. Yeah, we could just be playing a better card. If I have a Tithe Taker in my deck, I'm not cutting it versus Miracles, is essentially what I'm getting it down to. I'm not saying that Tithe Taker is good against Miracles. I think it's better than other cards in your deck versus Miracles. If you get to the point where it's in there. I've gone back and forth on Chalice versus Death Shadow. I like it a lot more on the play than on the draw. Also, this hand is just butts. Ugh. Man, this hand's kind of close. Gets, like, hard dunked on by Dread of Night, and also we need to find a white source, but yeah, it's awkward because like Swords and Path are so important in this matchup. But if you can land it before they have a threat, they don't have a lot of answers for it, and you can just cut them down to, like, basically only anglers. This seems fine if you have Scry exactly planes and they don't have Dreadnought. Yeah, exactly. But I think it's better than going to 5. I'm gonna keep it. Oh, that's not planes. This hand's very good if we do find a white source. Uh-oh. At least the Delver doesn't flip. Small favors. Oh, well. That's fine. We didn't need that. We need a white source anyway to cast like half the spells in our hand. Alright. Playing this game. Oh, it flipped. Alright, well that's bad. That's bad news. Alright, we need a rip of planes. Fuck. Alright, we need a rip of planes. Planes time. Planes off the top. One time. Just give me that good planes. One time. Yes, we're not dead. I would really like to just have a second planes. Oh no, my opponent found mana. That's not cool. No, the other plow. We needed that too. Now we're dead. I mean, we could draw another plow or a path, but hey, look at that. More stuff. So we're going to 1 next turn. It's like none of my actual plays matter here. It just comes down to what I draw next turn. So Stoneforge technically thins the deck. Double Mom doesn't do anything. We need exactly plow or path. Nothing else matters. Yeah, Stoneforge for Batterskull. I can also play Thalia here. But Thalia also taxes my only out, which makes it just more inconvenient next turn if they have like a daze. Like they could just attack me out of 1, hold up 1 mana, and then daze my 2 mana plow. Yeah, if I had a 2-drop flower, I'd play Double Mom. Thalia taxes their daze. Yeah, so if they just like leave up the Watery Grave, then we literally have no outs. Oh. Now we're dead. If only we had a Tithe Taker in play. Let's try Chalices. I like I was talking about before, I like Chalices a lot more on the play. Just cut like a lot more Moms and stuff. Moms are good, but like Chalices are also good. So I've still like never reached a consensus on whether Chalice is worth it against this deck. I think it's the best. It's the best deck. It's the best Delver deck to board in Chalice against. Even better than like blue-red Delver. Chalice is probably better than Tithe Taker. Yeah, we cut the Tithe Takers a long time ago. I could see like boarding in a Thalia for a Wisp as well. It's all just like moving around of like white X1s, and Thalia's get a lot better on the play. Alright, let's run back. Yeah, if you can get a Chalice down when they have no threats, and you're like, and you have a plan for like a Gurmag Angler, then you're pretty good. Rather cut Recruiter than Wisp? Eh. Recruiter finds Mirroring Crusader. He's nuts. Well, I was saying it sucks, but we kind of have to keep it. I mean, it doesn't suck, but like Double Crocus sucks. How much do I want to bait the Wasteland? Kind of a lot. Especially after how our last game went. Thoughtseize. Actually, don't Thoughtseize. I need this Thalia. Damn it. Now we can't bait any Wastelands. They're just not going to Wasteland the Crocus ever. Oh. Alright, so it's like add another Thoughtseize for the other path time then? Can I afford to slam this Thalia into a daze? Thalia is so good if it resolves here. 2 mana. 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 But it's really bad if it gets Daze, because the rest of my hand does nothing. They're like just Daze Thoughtseize. We're so far behind. I don't think I can afford not to play this Thalia, though. Yes, the Daze 100%. They always do have the Daze, so that's why I think I'm just gonna pass. That's why I took. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why I took the path. But then, like, then they know that I have Aether Vial. I mean, if they have Needle and Aurod's fine. Then we play the Thalia with Daze backup / Kragus backup. Do I have to path this? Oh, that explains why he didn't take the Thalia as well. Also, Recruiter finds Leo in Heroic Order. I don't think I'm pathing this yet. Like, Death Shadow or Gurmag seems scarier, and we have a lot of time. We have a lot of free mana. Oh, well, that's awkward. Because now I can't path and Chalice here without playing into the Daze again. Was not thinking about that. I didn't path this Delver. Did I just slam it anyway? I feel like my opponent kept his hand on the strength of the Dread Knight, and they don't necessarily have Daze. I think we do need to slam it now, because we're in a pretty bad spot. Resolve! Oh, nice, we did it. This is when he goes third land, Lily. Yep. Time to draw Phyrexian Revoker. Ooh, Stoneforge Mystic isn't nothing. It dies to the Liliana, though. So... what am I... do I just grab Batterskull and I hope to hit 5 mana? Through a Wasteland? Before this thing hits 7? Does not seem like a great plan. Alternatively, something like a sword could protect an X2 from Lily. The problem is that, like, all my X2s are now going to die to the Lily plus, so we need exactly a Revoker, or, like, pretty fucked. So something like sword could actually help equip to something. But I don't know if that's even fast enough. Batterskull is definitely not fast enough. So I think I just need to grab sword. Also, if we draw like Mirror Crusader, it's just insane. Yep. The perfect draw. Alright, we got like 2 more turns. Let's draw like Recruiter, Mirror Crusader. Ballista. Ooh. Sort of at least makes it so that Wisp deals with Dread Knight, so you can play Thalia and equip. Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. So what number am I putting this? Am I putting it on 2, playing into Daze? Putting it on 1, equipping the sword? My concern is Dismember. If they have Dismember, I'd rather put it on 2. Because that takes the Lily down further. But if they have Daze... they didn't Daze the sword, and they definitely would have. So I think I just want to actually put the Ballista on 2. I think 1 is probably better. It's playing around like exactly Daze versus playing around a removal spell that beats Chalice, specifically Dismember, something we've definitely seen out of them. I think putting it on 2 has higher upside, assuming this Walking Ballista isn't going to live either. And if it does live, then putting it on 2 is also just higher upside, because it's just bigger. It's... They have dismember, that you're likely dead because you're down 2 lands. Well, if they dismember, we're not down 2 lands, right? We're just down 1 land. And we ping this Liliana down to 4, so we have ultimate, so we have a lot more time. How are we just dead if they have dismember? We buy ourselves like 2 turns. We can just ping the Liliana. Oh, because they waste the second Caracas. Yeah. And didn't think about that. But, I mean, we don't really need mana. Especially after we get the Ballista on board. We only need 2 mana to just equip. Buying 2 to just do what? To draw anything! We draw a Recruiter, we can just kill the Lily! We draw a Recruiter, we draw Flicker Wisp. I guess Flicker Wisp doesn't let me do the Thalia thing now, but Flicker Wisp buys me a bunch of time with the Lily as well. Like, I'm doing the 2 mana play, and I'm gonna get dazed, but... Balls. So we put it on 1, we have 1 extra turn here, right? Well, not necessarily. We don't know if they have a removal spell. We could have had, like, all the turns. No, because they daze it anyway, and I can't equip, and then they ping it. So we get 1 extra turn. So we'll see if it matters. Ooh, did it not matter at all? Does my opponent also have Angler? So if we... Yeah, our thing's just dead. This Lily's just on 6 instead. If we had put it on 1. The perfect draw. Notably, we can still just draw Crusader and just, like, one-shot them. Actually, only deals them, 10, but... Something close to one-shot. Don't think is punished is quite the right word. But yeah, definitely did not go well, but... I think I went for the higher upside play. Because I think if we put it on 1... Deals 12? No, it deals 12 when it's a 2-2. It deals 10 when it's a 1-1. Oh man, Kermog's a zombie! Combo! 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're dead. Maybe they'll fetch. Even then, we don't have a Crusader. We'll rip hopes and dreams. Hard to beat Dreadnought into Liliana with this deck. Yeah, we're losing that game either way. I can draw the extra card. Let's see what we would have. Oh, nice. We could have put a Chalice on 2 right before we died. But yeah, like the Ballista buys me 1 turn from the Lily ulting if I put it on 1 because they just daze it anyway to prevent me from equipping. They ping it. We didn't draw rather poorly, right? We had a lot of blanks in our deck. So hang on before we go to the next game. So what cards are we actively trying to draw there? I guess so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 if you count like when we were drawing towards the Ballista. Like 12 cards in our deck, so we drew a little below average, but like Dread Knight plus Liliana Blast Hope is definitely going to make a lot of my deck pretty invalid. I guess no, Prelate. Prelate was a fine draw because we had the Vial on 3, so it can go around the Liliana activation. You just Vial it on end step and then put the sword on it. Unlucky, yeah. If we just keep saying unlucky, no one will. What is Soul Square doesn't even do anything. They can block with the zombie. They get zombies on their end step. Even if I'm bluffing a card that is on exactly 0 people's radar and 0 people will play around. The 1/4 dream is still alive, indeed. It just it just fogs, then we die the turn following. Oh, is it a 1/1? I thought it would have like more toughness, but that would make sense because it just gets a bunch of counters. Opponent didn't play around, settle the wreckage. Oh, we didn't even play the 4th land, never mind, we just conceded. We can't 5 anymore, restart the league. I think we would have won if Tithe Taker was there to die twice. I'm glad everyone else appreciates Tithe Taker as much as I do. I do, like, vaguely want to get a Tithe Taker League published, and eventually it would happen just based on the other 57 cards in the deck. Like, Tithe Taker notwithstanding, you could definitely 5-0 a league eventually. You can 5-0 a league with a lot of garbage in your deck just carried by the good cards in your deck, but today is not that day, and I definitely don't want to try that hard to 5-0 with Tithe Taker, because I do think this card is, like, pretty grossly unplayable. We'll never know if they didn't have the days, would we have won, though. They could have had a Dismember, in which case we were still dead, but if they had no removal, if they just had... No, we were losing to the Gurmag anyway, right? They just brick walls us. And then they ult the Lily. Yeah, because we play the Ballista, they wasteland us, so we can't pump up the Ballista. It's a 3... No, it's a 4/4. The Lily ticks up to 7 and just ults behind the Gurmag. So yeah, I don't think... Even without the days, and us putting it on 2, I think we're still dead there. The fact that people manage to 5-0 with Brain Delight, Scape Shift, and Modern tells you what a garbage can to 5. Yeah, you can 5-0 a league with a dumpster fire if you try hard enough. Opaleye, Condas, Yojim. I want to look that up, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think I'm going to care enough about that card to look it up. I do vaguely know what 8.5 Tails does. I know more or less what its abilities are. I couldn't name, like, the mana. Is it just a colorless activate either ability on 8.5 Tails? Yeah, that doesn't work. I think it's like exclamation point card and then the name or something. I forget. Samurai the Pale Curtain. That's the one that, like, exiles creatures when they enter the graveyard from the battlefield? Exiles permanents? I don't know. God, Army, learn how to spell. Yeah, we did it. 1 white, legendary, Fox Samurai, 1/4, Defender, Bushido 1. Tap. Next time a source of your choice would deal damage this turn, that damage is dealt to Opaleye, Kondo's Yojimbo instead. 1 white. Prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to Opaleye this turn. So for the low cost of 3 white tap, you can prevent your opponent's True Name with a Jite from getting counters. Ah, you need a white mana to activate its first to turn something, or no, to give something protection from white, and you can use a colors mana to turn anything white. Yeah, it's a white 2/2. I knew about 8.5 Tails. Oh wait, no, it's 1 and a white. It's 2 mana to give something pro white. Ugh, so much effort. Long time for this 3rd match here. I think it's right between there as power level goes. 8.5 being the stronger one. Yeah, I would think I would rather register an 8.5 Tails than a Tithe Taker. I think I might agree with that assessment. Oh God, I hate keeping one-land file hands on the draw. It just totally ups the range of things you're dead to. From Force of Will to, like, Force of Will Days Thoughtseize. But as far as one-landers go, this is like a real sick file curve if you ignore this Tithe Taker. Lose 8.5 tails with Caracas Synergy, yeah. I only kept 7. How greedy am I? I'm feeling a little greedy. Opponent's not on a Days deck. Do you see Pleasant Kenobi cut his vials when he thought he was up against Caracas Control? I did not. I watched some of Pleasant Kenobi's video, but I didn't finish it. I was pretty busy this weekend when I saw it. Hand's perfect. Hand's definitely not perfect. Well, time to get this vial dazed and lose the game. Please, no days. This is why I don't keep these fucking hands ever. Thinking my better judgment, I would have mulled this hand in the blind. But the Tithe Taker has clouded my judgment. GG, both teams fought hard. Yeah, I hate keeping one-land vial hands on the draw. They're just so much worse than they are on the play, because you just open yourself up to cards like Thoughtseize and Daze, of which are, like, very commonly played in this format. And, well, none of this hand is castable, so... Thoughtseize whatever the fuck you want. A Stoneforge, I guess? Yeah. Bolt the Mom? Maybe I'll Thoughtseize the Tithe Taker. Well, time to lose. I don't know why I don't know why I talked myself into keeping this hand. This hand is, like, rancid. Thoughtseize took forever because I probably had to read Tithe Taker. Can we get out of my combat step? So we can end my suffering, please. Now, Tithe Taker had First Strike, would it be playable? I mean, not really. It's like, there are a lot of 2-1s with First Strike you could play. They're not good. Well, this has just gone from, like, a risky keep to just, like, not good luck. We've had 4 draws and hit no lands. And, like, even with 1 land, we can definitely actually have beaten whatever this start is. Turn of 3, just pass the turn. Is their hand like Gurmag, land? I don't know. Drew Bolt for turn? Tithe Taker had flying? Alright, let's calm down. Thalia has forsaken me for registering Tithe Taker in this deck. That's what our problem is. Why does my opponent keep, like, going, like, super into the tank in my beginning of combat step? Every time. You were 10% and still not have land. I mean, that is kind of unlucky. Like, 9 out of 10 games. And this is, like, the second time in a row that we've, like, had a one-lander. Well, that one was statistically less because we only had white sources to draw during the Death Shadow game. We only had, what, like 12 or 13, 16 or something like that, rather than any lands. Exile your bad luck by -3 in Karn. You can only get rid of your bad luck by restarting the game with Karn. Independent results. Don't tell me what the gambler's fallacy is, Patrick. Get out of here. I can complain about bad luck all I want. That's what streaming is about, right? Oh yeah, we also we super dead. Can you give me the stats on, what about 5, Patrick? Fuck off, Shyla. We're not conceding here for complete. Yes, we're super not conceding here for complete equity. I want to see how many more cards off the top of my deck are also not lands. Just under 6%. Right. Am I allowed to complain about being unlucky now? Turn 1 goes. How did you restart the game with Karn and not have like 3 different permanents in play? Here's the Gurmag Angler. Alright, I'm F6ing. It's taking too long. Wow. Put out a lot of stuff. We might not have beaten this on like a good hand. I don't know what happened on turn 3 when they just did literal nothing, but then turn 4 they went Preordained True Name, and then turn 5 they just went like Brainstorm Angler, Delver. Oh, we did it! We found the land! Alright, no more complaining. Grixis Delver, huh? The deck had a lot of showings in the most recent challenge. I've been noticing Delver on the pickup the past couple of weeks. Not a lot the Death and Taxes can really do to combat it, though. I've been, like, messing around with the random tech to try to beat True Nemesis. But Death and Taxes is traditionally, like, marginally favored versus Delver. Like, it is a favored matchup overall, but it's super not free. I'm used to rolling my eyes on Hearthstone streamers lose a 1 and 4 and lose their mind. Fucking Hearthstone. So I'm cutting. The Tithe Taker? No, it's Revoker. Tithe Taker is actually not complete shit in this matchup. It's only like mostly shit. They're definitely worse cards to cut than Tithe Taker in this matchup. Also, Tithe Taker helps you like land your equipment better, because if they're playing on their own turn, there's a better chance of you being able to like equip your things and smash rather than equipping and getting time walked by a lightning bolt. So I think it's gonna look like this. Cut Revoker, Jailer, Recruiter. Yeah. Just cut all the really slow cards. I think Rune Halo is like pretty unplayable, but I did register a Holy Light last week, so. How much are Rune Halos online? Oof. This hand's very bad against Wasteland. This hand is... I'm definitely keeping this hand. This hand is a lot better than the 7 I kept last time. Now we're not dead to like 12 different cards in there, or whatever, 10 different cards in their deck. We're dead to like 4. We're not dead, because at least we get like a mom in play and stuff. And we also have 2 Wastelands, so like, if they Wasteland me, we can just try to like run each other out of lands. Exactly. If we don't play Magic, they won't play Magic. At least that's the hope. All of my heavy Wasteland draws always end up my opponent just like floods out. Ooh, I like Wasteland Plow here. Hey. Oh, you think that's a good idea, huh? Good thing we drew this basic plains. And more Wastelands. I'm totally going to Wasteland whatever they play here. Yeah, they're cantripping. Alright, shuffle on this cantrip, come on. Ooh, they shuffled on this ponder, huh? That was your first mistake. God! See, this is what always fucking happens whenever I draw, like, infinite Wasteland hands. They always just flood out. Alright, if they top on this priority, I'm not wastelanding. They bottomed. Alright. I still might not wasteland, because then we're down to 1 land. Ah, never mind. We're wastelanding. Miss a land drop already. Finally. God. Can you fucking stop? OP, probably. God! Is opponent missed a land drop, or if we wastelanded them, or they wastelanded me every time? Because this is turn 5. They played 1, 2, 3, and then they play the wasteland 4, 5. They have not missed a beat. Luckily, neither have we. I don't really want to play the Stoneforge into a daze, although I guess I don't really care if they just draw the 4th wasteland. Tithe Taker mucks with their fetches, but like not actually. But if we like Stoneforging, just go grab Batter Skull. If the Stoneforge resolves, it's just insane. But they have 6 cards in their hand. So I think we're playing Tithe Taker. They're almost out of real lands, right? Yeah, we wastelanded 2 of their Underground Seas and 1 Volcanic. So they're down to 1 Volcanic, or 2 Volcanics, 1 Underground Sea. And, like, Wastelands. Alright, we might need to put this Prelate on 1 here. Little do we know they floated out. That's what I said right at the start. I was like, every time I draw out double Wasteland hands, my opponent just floats out anyway. So what's really the point? Maybe I was supposed to play around Daze and just play Stoneforge. I'm kind of concerned about this Young Power going wild. Could have like Stoneforge for sort of Fire and Ice, maybe. It's not guaranteed to get me there, though. Oh, well, that works. They're just gonna, like, land your name. Oh, this is, oh, sick! We can finally do something useful with Tithe Taker. Sack it to a Diabolic Edict. Goodbye. They can't daze. Oh man, the Tithe Taker made them not daze! I didn't think about that! Man, good job, Tithe Taker. Taking one for the team, preventing the daze or the force, and then eating a Diabolic Edict. You did it. Never have you impressed me more than right now, Tithe Taker. Now let's draw Wasteland. Just take them off black mana for the rest of this game. Now we just Stoneforge for like sort of Fire and Ice. Sounds like you need to play it more. You clearly aren't used to it. Tithe Taker was good here. We almost, yeah, I'm too used to shitting on Tithe Taker, but Tithe Taker was legitimately okay there. I mean, I don't know that my opponent had to like, counterspell in their hand, but there's a decent chance they did. They have like a 5-card hand. Wouldn't be surprised if there was a Daze or a Force. Well, this means that I have guaranteed 4th land drop for Play Eclipse Sword next turn. So I'm kind of fine just Stoneforging here. Getting him with the Spirit. Sad. I hope the Stoneforge gets forced. Fuck off, Patrick. I think it was probably the best sack still. Like, sacking Mom or Prelate seems pretty loose there. Well, they can't really do anything either. They need to, like, deal with the Spirit or find a 3rd land for a True Name or something. Because we're pretty on the front foot here with this Prelate plus Mom in play. Hard for them to attack him with 1/1s versus a Sanctum Prelate, too. Tithe Taker would have been so good, but you sacrificed him. I mean, the other... Yeah, like I said, the other two sacrifices were, I think, worse. I don't think sacking the mom to make sure that I resolve this. Because then they, like... If they can kill the Stoneforge, then they can still just deal with the sword. The mom plus Prelate, I think, is pretty important here. Ooh, another mom. Tithe Taker and Thing in the Ice Tech. Need someone?
Can you give me that blue notebook there?
Yeah, 1 second.
Keep that.
Hey, we did it! We won! That didn't feel like a game we won, but maybe my opponent's hand is just like 5 1-drop spells. Tithe Taker did something! Because that Prelate probably would have got forced. But then, I mean, the Stoneforge wouldn't get forced, and then it would probably still take over from there. But, well, Lord knows what their 5 cards in their hand were, so... Maybe Tithe Taker did something. Have to track down my opponent and ask them. We're just running it back. Brainstorming 3 Bolt X2. 2 bolts would have... no, they didn't have enough lands to, like, bolt. I could have, like, instant bolted the mom, untap bolted the mom if I didn't have Prelate in play. Bolt to scoop to your... Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, our clock was not good. But they're, like... They don't have a lot of outs at that point. Especially because they're so down on lands to ever cast, like, a True Name. And even if they find Gurmag, we just block with one of the 2 moms. I think our likelihood of winning that game was a lot higher than the opponent. Yeah. The problem was probably just sticking for the rest of the game, and their deck is a lot of whiffs, and our deck was a lot of hits. I think we were pretty favored to win that game, but definitely not, like... If the opponent had just drawn, like, land 3 and a bunch of True Names, we'd definitely dead, but... Alright. Have I learned my lesson from last time? No. This hand is definitely among the 1-landers that, like, legitimately I would keep. With Double Vial and 2 other 1-drops to be playing. I think this hand is, like, leaps and bounds. No lessons learned. This hand is 2... Yeah, 2 vials is the big difference between this hand and the last hand. They can, like, Thoughtseize, Daze Me or something, but even then we have 2 other castables. I'm fine with this hand. I will accept my fates. He lost the Resonance Orient. Do you hate fun, Patrick? See, easy. This is how that card works. You just always draw the land, right? When have I ever not drawn the second land when I kept a 1-lander before? Just like dazing, floating the mana. This is when they Thoughtseize the other vial, but joke's on them, I have the other land. What if I wasteland this and then they force a Will my Aether Vial? I'm gonna feel like a huge idiot, but I think it's the best. I think it's the optimal play. And Miracle Land will have to troll new people by convincing them hands like Island Ponder to 2Jace Council Judgment Snap are keepable. I do think Wasteland play Vial is probably the correct play here. Plays around second days. Plays around everything except for Force. And if they have Force again, we do still have 2 castable spells and the possibility of drawing more lands. I do like this play the most. Sure, float a red mana, that's cool. I'll go to my second main. Twitch just filtered 1 down. Oh no! They forced! Time to lose. Oh, never mind. We did it. We drew a land. Slam Thalia, I think. They've lost 2 dazes now. So many people wasteland second there to play around days and it's such a yeah, exactly. Like wastelanding second to play around days is so bad. You play around days by wastelanding. Oh fuck. Oh, damn it. This Thalia. Well, we can play Mom here. Opponent's expending a lot of resources to try to resource deny me. But we have the board. At least for now. Young Peasy. Alright, if we draw land, we're... Oh. Well, this ain't great, but not bad. At least we drew a castable spell to keep adding to the board. Hopefully my opponent's not one of those Grixis Delver players that plays Dread of Night. What was the true name? Oh, fuck. One of those Grixis Delver players that plays that card that Grixis Delver actually plays. Well, now we can plow this Young Pyro. And then, like, develop Aether Vial and stuff. So we're not out of the... We're not dead yet. Why did you say that? Because this stream is all about called shots, Darkview. Have you never been here before? All I do is say, what's the worst possible thing that could happen to me? And then it always happens. And then they're going to cast True Name here. As you do. Joke's on you, opponent. You unlocked Dark Removal. Yeah, got him. That does not count as a called shot. Yeah, but it's always going to happen. They didn't shuffle on their Ponder. So how dead are we? Pretty dead. We need to rip, like... I guess we're not dead. Because we can, like, Stoneforge into life gain if we can find, like, just a second land. Never mind. Now they take Stoneforge. We go to 9 here. Turn into a 3-turn clock. We need to rip, like, land, Council's Judgment. I don't even think does it. Is there a point of porting here? Should I leave a path? Guess we just leave a path. So we're going to 6 here, draw land, go to 3, and then we're going to do just a bolt. So we need to draw like just natural Jite. Maybe I shouldn't have used the plow. So I could like gain life to buy me a turn. I think Teferi is better than Ojutai Exemplars. Got him. Path the token. Don't think that's worth doing. Oh, path my token? Oh, maybe that's worth doing. Probably not. Path token and pray to draw exactly Council's Judgment. Teferi doesn't gain life. Ojutai Exemplars is my new favorite meme when talking about like grossly unplayable Magic cards in Legacy. All right, Opponent's gonna bolt me in the face. Alright, solid line. Alright, yeah, I'm conceding. Man. So what would Tithe Taker have been in that game? I mean, probably not good enough to win through that shitfest. Path the Swan Song token I got from my KCI opponent. It was so much value. Yeah, your opponent just turned your Path attacks out into a rampant growth. Busted. How's Tithe Taker been so far? Pretty unplayable. One time it was like decent against Grixis Delver, I think, because it like stopped them from dazing my Sanctum Prelate because they tapped out. The card is, I think, largely unplayable in the format. Like, not questionable is generous. But this is a donation list, so I decided that I would give it a whirl before I delivered my final verdict. Could have used Wish Sun to have the token. Thanks for the tips, Darkview. But yeah, we've been kind of hitting some rough beats though. Tithe Taker notwithstanding, these have just been some rough games. Except for the time we crushed Red Prison, but that's because Red Prison's like super favored. Is the list posted somewhere? Yeah. There should be an extension. If you're on mobile, there's a little puzzle piece next to the chat icon. Or if you're on desktop, there's a little... Wait. Oh, is it? Yeah, it should be on. Cardboard Live in the bottom center of the screen. That way. And if you click on that, you get the deck list. Alternatively, you can type !! Deck list, because some people like to do that and don't like to click on things. So I also still have that. I try to update Stream Decker sometimes just so people can like get linked to that, but I don't know. Cardboard Live is just way more convenient. Jamming Stack, Crusaders, Avengers, and Brightlings. I don't know. I like maxing out on a bunch of 3s. Avengers like basically a 3, and Brightling's basically a 4. Playing too many 3-drops in a format like that's playing a lot of Daze effects is less appealing to me. Although I wouldn't hate Cavern in a list like this. There's actually like a surprising amount of exclusively humans. I think it's like only Flicker Wisp in this particular iteration. CBL needs to let me zoom. It is kind of tiny if you're watching it on like a if you're watching in a smaller window. Like the one I have open off to the side all the time. I will swear by Cavern. Stoneforge. Oh yeah, Stoneforge Flicker Wisp, and technically Revoker, but not that one matters. Prevents you from casting Plow or Council's Judgment or Cataclysm. There are a bunch of things, but I wouldn't hate it in this iteration as opposed to others because you're playing a lot more humans than normal. Because I cut the Hallowed Spirit Keeper, the Remorseful Cleric, but. At the same time, Cavern isn't always great against Delver because it's another Wasteland target. It does prevent you from getting dazed, but it opens up hands that were otherwise safer against Wasteland. There's no large enough in theater mode chat open. Huh. I don't like look at other people's cardboard lives that often. Let me see this. Theater mode. It's a little small, but it's pretty big. Yes. I will never do the snow-covered split. Except for that one time I did it because I was literally copying the Pro Tour winning 75 list. But yeah, fuck snow-covered splits. Army tried to get me to do it when I asked him about if he'd had any mana-based preferences for the deck list. And he was like, do a snow-covered split. And I was just like, no. Not happening. Oh, nice. How do we lose? We have 2 Tithe Takers. Oh, this one has 1. We're still okay. Yeah, I'm not like shitting on people for liking Cavern. Cavern's fine. Snow Covered suck, but like Cavern's fine. I used to be a Cavern player. Used to be more of a Cavern player, but I've learned the power of basic planes. Snow Covered Split is technically better. Yeah. Exactly. The only argument I've ever heard is from anyone is just like, it's literally free to do. And it's also literally free to just not do it. Is it $10 for donation with a snow split? No, it's like $24. You have to pay for 2 leagues to make me play with snow covered splits. Well, we kind of want another land. Maybe I don't top this. We're on the play. Yeah, I'm bottom this. If I knew what I was against, then maybe topping it is right. But in the blind. Tithe Taker protects it. I mean, the mom protects it. Tithe Taker doesn't really protect Stoneforge from dying. It protects it from getting countered, I guess. It's another Delver deck. Could still be like Storm or Grixis Control. Doesn't really tell me a lot. Hoping it's not Storm, because this hand sucks against Storm. Go, Tithe Taker. Pauses, the opponent reads Tithe Taker. Pauses, I wish this was any other card. Oh, opponent's on Grixis, okay. I wish I had a Stoneforge Mystic. The problem with Tithe Taker and counterspells in this format is that all the counterspells are free. So, like, if they really want to counter something, they can leave up one land a decent amount of the time. Tithe Taker good for his darker and toss on your turn. In response to my fetch land. Wait, are they Grixis control? They just thought seized my Sword Supply shards. That didn't even like register. That's a nice draw. Before my opponent plays main deck Dread of Night. And Toxic Deluge. Why'd they take the Plow? Here's a response to a Ponder. Thank you very much. Well, yeah. No. Oh yeah, because you pondered before playing the land. That was it. Because that's the technically correct play. Are we playing against Grixis Delver? With just a bad lands in it? Could be Grixis Phoenix. That would make the most sense, I think. Yeah, how is my opponent ever going to cast a spell on my turn? There's so much taxing. Just Flicker Wisp my Caracas and pass. Just throw everything on the board. Can't really stop my opponent from going too crazy with this Young Pyro outside of just my Thalia. Reason Delverless from Japan have a bad lands in an island. What the? Japan's crazy, man. I still think this was Grixis Phoenix before I thought it was like weird Grixis Delver. Well, we can still attack with Thalia and Wisp. Tithe Taker is pretty stonewalled by a 1/1. We could convert it into a Spirit. Or threaten like Mom activations. I probably wouldn't use Mom activation aggressively, but turning into a Spirit's not bad. Because the opponent's going to 8, so it turns into a 2-turn clock in the air. I wish I could cast this sword. I think I want to convert this Tithe Taker into a Spirit. Well, they're actually at 10, so it doesn't change the math, right? If we just attack with these two, they can chump block. Main deck of Braid. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if like main deck of Braid happened at some point. Something to be monitoring, but I don't think like playing around it is that effective. Because like playing around cards that are like fringe one-ofs isn't always great. Being aware that they could happen is definitely a thing. If you can ever afford to play around it, it's fine too. But putting things that you don't need to on your radar is also a danger in itself. I think I am just attacking like this. I think they'll just block elemental or none. Alright, deal. Go Aether Vial. I do like Tithe Taker plus Thalia. Like, we don't have to be worried about a lot going on in our turn. Okay, they're dead. We did it. Am I confident enough that they're Grixis Phoenix that I just board for it, though? Or do I just board safely? They could just be like a weird Grixis Pyromancer deck. I bet Grixis Delver can't beat a Resolved Ethereal Absolution. That's probably correct. I mean, yeah, because like even they kills everything besides Anglers, and you can make like infinite spirits to block an Angler. Ethereal Absolution is fucked up. Yeah, I don't know why you thought that would work, Gileth. Ethereal Absolution isn't even one of the cards on the list. But anyway, I think I'm just gonna board a little bit conservatively here. Feels bad, because my gut says Phoenix. And, like, if I'm not boarding in these chalices, I'm gonna feel like kind of an idiot. Ethereal was, like, with an E here, like E-T-H-E-R-E-A-L, I think. Curse of Deathhold plus Anthem plus Morlock. Yeah, basically. But anyway, yeah, we're just gonna board as if they're, Delver. But they're not Delver, I don't think. But, like, a Grixis Pyro deck, I think would be pretty similar to... Actually, they probably have true names. Jailer's probably not great. But if they're like a slower Grixis Pyro deck, I might want Jailer again. I can exile any... Yeah, it's Graveyard Hate, but if it is a creature, then you get a 1/1, I think. Anyway. I'll just submit like this. Yeah, I bet all the Knicks Fit players are probably playing, he's doing a previous draft. Yeah, I've been hearing horror stories about it. Like, why is the stupid Orzhov Angel a mythic, and, like, that card is a rare somehow? Been hearing nothing but horror stories about how messed up that card is. Alright, Dark Rip me. Alright, I'm pretty convinced that this is the Phoenix deck. Especially with the basic Swamp. Like, there's no way they're a Delver deck. They could just be like a weird Grixis Pyro deck still. To be fair, you don't. You, for some reason, don't want... I never said I don't want Surgicals versus Phoenix. I said they're really clunky. And they feel really awkward, and I don't like them. Bottomed on that. Is Wasteland better than Stoneforge here? Maybe. They bottomed on the Preordain. Man. Wasteland. Everyone always wants me to Wasteland. Wastelanding never seems to work out today. Well, if they Phoenix me a bunch, we can Plow 1, take 6, Stoneforge, Council Judgment another. I don't know. We're probably losing our Source of Plowshares. And probably also our Stoneforge Mystic. Oh no, because they can't go off this turn. Also, 100% the Phoenix deck. They're playing Cabal Therapy. But whatever we tutor with the Stoneforge is probably going to get eaten by the Therapy, but that at least means my slow removal spell isn't going to get eaten by a Therapy. That's if they have the Buried Alive thing. They only have 3 cards left. What are the odds my Stoneforge dies? Do I just grab Batter Skull and cross my fingers? I don't love Sword or GJ. They feel very slow in this board state. I think Skull and Pray. Because they have to answer the Stoneforge and then also present scary threats. And also, if they are the Phoenix deck, which I'm like 95% sure they are at this point, the deck doesn't actually have a lot of removal. Just like some number of bolts and some number of braids. This looks like a bolt and a braid, though. Oh, no. I wonder if I kill this Pyro or I just make Batter Skull. Bottomed. Oh, yeah, they're going to therapy the Batter Skull, though. For that neat young Pyro synergy since they stopped playing therapy in the Grixis Delver decks. Well, now we get to kill the young Pyro, at least. And then we can Flicker Wisp our Stoneforge. Yeah, they're not the cool Mentor version. They're the boring 3-color version. Before days. If they have days in their Phoenix deck, alright. They got me. I think I've seen some with like 2 days, but with like 1 card in their hand. 2 cards in their hand? I've already forgotten. But there's no way I'm playing around days there. So it's just a handful of 3-drops. They didn't shuffle. Got something? No, another Ponder, fair. So the only thing I'm really scared of at this point is the combo. Like the Dark Red Buried Alive. So now we can Wisp the Stoneforge. Might as well play this file. What did they do on their second Ponder? I wasn't paying attention. They did not shuffle on that Ponder either. I think I want GT. GT gains life. Fourth them off black? Nah, man. I'm gonna flick at the Stoneforge. They're at 14. I need some card advantage. Sword of Fire and Ice means that I can deal them 7 twice. If I just go in with Wisp. Maybe that's better than GT. Sword also lets me like attack through defensive. Phoenix is better. I'm gonna grab Sword. We going off. Oh. Dark Red Bedlam Ruffler. Oh no. Do they have the Buried Alive after? Oof. Are we still fine here? Probably not. We have to take 9 here if we want to so okay, so Port wouldn't have stopped this. That's accurate. I mean, it would have prevented from, like, Bedlam Reveler. I mean, they could have cast the Bedlam Reveler still. I don't think Port was the best line, considering they were still at 14. Like, they could definitely draw out of it if I just, like, Flicker Wisp my own land and ported them instead of just Flicker Wisping Stoneforge. So, if we go to 10 here, we draw... We rip a land, we can play Equip Sword here, attack them... Put them to 6, or no, put them to 8. Would 100% stop the Phoenix Brothers. Yeah, for like a turn. Oh yeah, Phoenix is a legacy deck now. It's a... I don't know how steady it is, but it's definitely a deck currently. I don't think blocking is going to win me this game. But is not blocking going to win me this game? Probably not. You can't set it up for, like, one turn lethal. They wouldn't have all the dark rights post-roll. Yeah, but, like, the... Never mind. Don't worry about it, Patrick. So if we block, we take 6, go to 13. They have 2 cards left in hand. 13, 2 Phoenixes. We have a Wisp for a Jite. Still facing down Reveler. Problem is if I'm blocking these Arclight Phoenixes, we're probably not going to be able to, like, the chances of them recurring them are pretty high. I don't think... GT puts me in a slightly better spot if I had that instead. We'd leave the Stoneforge back. But then that doesn't set up lethal. Because it'd be 3, put them to 10, get 2 counters. Show 7. We're also still, like, dead. We'd have to use counters to gain life. I think we're just mostly dead here. Don't think there are a lot of draws I can beat this stage. Sorry, I'm just thinking here. See, nothing really lines up that well. Like, even if we... So if we draw the land, equip this Flicker Wisp with the sword, attack, hit them for 5, put them to 8, kill an Arclight Phoenix. We still have the Stoneforge to block the Bedlam Reveler. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we don't have enough on the Crackback. So I don't think we can... I think we just have to not block. I don't think my tank there mattered a lot, but it was interesting. I like thinking specifically about this Phoenix deck, because I have very little experience against it. So if we play Phoenix plus like put in sword, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 power. So if I attack, put them to... I would need them to attack with all their Phoenixes, though. If I attack, put them to 10, play my other Wisp, Wisp out, like, the Bedlam Reveler, put in the sword. They're just not going to attack with all the Phoenixes, though. Look, Wisp like a Phoenix. But that sets up so that there's guaranteed a Phoenix that's going to be able to block me. Because we'll have 2 Wisps in play, so we won't have lethal anymore. The only way we have lethal is that if all of these Arclight Phoenixes are tapped. Please don't Wisp the Reveler. I mean, they draw 3 cards at end step. Like, Wisp my Wisp, Wisp the Reveler. They draw 3 cards at end step. What's that going to do to me? Like, they could draw a Bolt, but they don't have that much interaction in their deck. Like, I can also Wisp the token and just block the Reveler with the Stoneforge. But I don't think there's any way to incentivize them to attack with all their Phoenixes. This is a game that there's a chance we can win, but it's definitely a tough one. So, if we just play Equip the Sword to the Wisp, attack them, kill a Phoenix, we're not dead next turn, but we also don't have lethal. We only have 7, and they'll be at 8. And we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we'd be forced to block a Bedlam Reveler with the Stoneforge, so there's no way we'd have lethal on the crackback. Unless we drew Walking Ballista or Recruiter of the Guard, but we cut all the Recruiters. Depends on is a Wisp, 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 Phoenix, and Chump Reveler while bringing in the Sword. What are the odds that they have 2 cards that are instants or sorceries? Oh yeah, if we kill an Arclight and they have like, if they can just chain cantrips, we're dead on board. If I take the aggressive line, I think my only way of weighing is the safer line. They still get to like hit me for 6 down to 4, and then they'll have a Phoenix back. Ruined Halo would be good here. I mean, if it didn't get Thought Seized one of the 4 times they Thought Seized. Oh, only 3 times. Are there any top decks that I could win? Like a third Wisp, I think I could win. Plow off the top, does that do it? No, because we'll have exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we'll have gained them up to 13. Path off the top would do it. Path or Flicker Wisp off the top would do it. Would kill. Alright. I think I'm in. All this thinking in my opponent's hand is probably just gonna like wreck my shit and like make my decisions not matter, but touch shot incoming. So the greedy line is to Flicker Wisp the Reveler and hope they attack with everything, but there's like no way they do that, and they get to draw 3 cards for when they untap. I would die if they have the gut shot. I would cry if they had gut shot. I guess I would also die, that's fair. That was interesting. I like those decision points in like these new matchups that I don't have a lot of experience in. Just trying to think about what all the options are. I think, assuming my opponent has nothing, we have Flicker Wisps or Paths for lethal. Also assuming my opponent attacks with the Phoenixes. So we have like 4-ish outs. And sounds, yeah, it sounds a lot of alarms. Because my opponent knows I would have lethal. My opponent knows I have Sword in hand. And they can do basic math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They know I would have 10 damage. They wouldn't attack with all their Phoenixes if I flickered the Reveler. That's one of the various reasons I didn't do it. It's awkward because they could actually like Thought Seize this sword. No, they can't Thought Seize it. They could Therapy it, because then that would tap the Stoneforge. If they Thought Seize it, we can still put it in and use one of these Wisps to chump block. And then, because they'd be at 7, so we could kill them with a Wisp plus a sword. Sure. Sure. Alright. So we have some draws here. We got 4 draws for lethal. I guess not if my opponent doesn't attack with all these Phoenixes. They might just attack with the big Bedlam Reveler. Attacking with 1 Phoenix makes sense. So it makes them have 2 Phoenixes on defense. Is there any point to keeping this Stoneforge around? If I just, like, block this Elemental, take 9, go to 1? We have guaranteed 7 damage, but nothing else. They can block everything else. So our outs are very minimal. I think we're just dead. I think we just need to block this Bedlam Reveler. Naturally drawing Batterskull. Probably wouldn't even do it, right? Because they're just gonna... We're just gonna be at a low enough life total where they can kill me with 2 Phoenixes. Oh, they only have 3. We block. I don't think Battle Skull would do it, but maybe. Drawing Stoneforge, maybe. Echoing Truth. The perfect draw. So we can draw... No, if we'd drawn land, we could have drawn Ballista, right? And killed them. Attack them for 7. But now we're just dead. You don't have any draws? I mean, I shouldn't burn my time because it was a game 3, but... Ooh. It's a Flicker Wisp. But we're super dead because we're at 6 life. Block, take exact... They have exactly 6 with us having 3 blockers. I guess technically not, because we flicker out one of these. But we have to block everything on board, and then we die. Play Flicker Wisp, flicker this Flicker Wisp, flickers the Arclight Phoenix, they attack with everything. We have to block all 3 of the 3 power guys, or we die. If only he would shock the Pyro. And that doesn't matter, right? No, we couldn't drop Ballista at that point, because we didn't have the land to, like, actually kill them. Oh, we could stay alive and top deck Ballista? Or, no, we boarded out the recruiters. The old 1-outer. It's probably a 0-outer, but... Because we don't even have recruiters in our deck to top deck. We should, now that we're 100% sure they're Phoenix. Also, if they just have any kill spell, we're hosed. But we got 10 minutes for game 3. It's fine. Not super worried about the clock. If we could have kept the sword on something, if we could have kept the sword equipped on something, this could have worked, but obviously, wait, not enough mana. I'm worried about the clock. I need to go to bed. Alright, well, we're almost done with the league, so. Now, opponent's turn to tank. 24-hour stream. Maybe someday, try love. Thanks for the bits, Dark View. Right-click attack all. We have to block like this. Opponent was thinking about if I had like something to violate onto, then maybe we could have lived. Maybe we'll draw Walking Ballista. God, please. One time, no whammies. Damn. I should... No, yeah, we weren't getting there. If you tried Sun Lancing the opponent. The old White Lightning Bolt. Alright, so now we can actually sideboard as if they are Phoenix, because they are. Another point for Ballista. Ballista's still OP. Yeah, Ballista's great. I don't think I would run a Death and Taxes list without a Ballista in 75. Thanks to the Bits Army. Also, yeah, we're super cutting all these Tithe Takers in this matchup. They're just like grossly unplayable. Phoenix plays on its own turn so much. This card does stone nothing. I'm happy I didn't draw any. Crusader sucks. think I cut all the moms, especially in a Chalice matchup, and I guess Council Judgment's really bad. They're on Bedlam Reveler. Like, that doesn't really actually make me want Judgment, though. I don't think I want any of these cards. Thanks for the 6 bits, Aisha9. Do I want Judgment as just like a really bad removal spell? It's probably better than this. I guess Crusader might be better. Crusader picks up a sword and just murders them. As a 1-of, I think I'd rather have Crusader than a random, really slow, clunky removal spell. The old 10-1 drop 3 Chalice Avoid matchup. Thanks for the 100 bits, Patrick. Casual one-upmanship indeed. The whole $1. I don't think this hand is particularly capable. This hand seems very bad. I think I might have to keep this, though. 3 Wisps is so ungodly bad in this matchup. I usually think I cut some Wisps, but what did I cut instead? I don't know. 3 Wisp is atrocious, especially with just 2 lands. We've got Surgical for Hate and a late game win condition. Yeah, what could go wrong? This hand is very, very unplayable. But also mulliganing to 5 against the 8 Thoughtseize deck seems pretty bad. And if we don't get Thoughtseize on turn 1, we can land Thalia. We might actually be able to, like, do something. Oh god, I just need to top this Chalice, even though we also have this Thalia that we're... Actually, we'll probably play Chalice instead, especially if this Thalia gets Thoughtseized. And if the Thalia doesn't get Thoughtseized, we're still playing the Chalice, because the other way around doesn't work unless we draw the 3rd land. The Chalice also protects the Thalia from a turn 2 Thoughtseize if they spend turn 1 Pondering. I bet I get turn 1 Phoenixed. And I'm going to regret not keeping my 5-land Surgical hand. Lava Man, huh? That's fine, that's pretty beatable. It's less beatable because we're about to shut off all our removal spells. But at the same time, Chalice is so good, right? How's my opponent going to be a Chalice Void? They have to, like, keep tossing spells in their hand just to feed the Lavamancer, unless they have the Abrade. If they have an Abrade, then there's a game to be played. A game in which we're pretty unfavored. I just have to keep tossing spells into the Lavamancer, and so do they. Hopefully they don't Abrade me. Don't do it. Well, now they can double up on their countered spells here. Just Mize Rip. Oh god, please. Wisp doesn't do anything. I'd save Wisps for just, like, killing young Pyro tokens. I think I'm just gonna play Thalia this turn. And just, like, cast a Thoughtseize and then Pyro down the Lavamancer and attack. Or cast a Ponder and Pyro down the... or Lavamancer down the thing. But now we can eat the Elemental. Have a 3-1 in play. They have to keep tossing food for their Lavamancer, and we can fight Young Pyro with a bunch of Wisps. Or fight. This is hardcast Phoenix time. Oh, fuck. Alright, yeah, now we're dead. Today's just not our day. And it's not really because of the Tithe Taker, more than just, like, they're getting some real bad beats. Are they just, like, also going to Dark Red Buried Alive me? Alright, alright. Christ. That was some... that was some seriously bad beats. Ugh. Play the last league. last game for clear. It's because of the Tithe Taker. Yeah, just keep blaming the Tithe Taker. Don't blame anything else. Just keep pretending it's the Tithe Taker that's giving me all this garbage. But just like sick ripping the Abrade into also just making 3 arc lights was pretty rough. They could have had the Abrade the previous turn. I don't think you fire off a spell into it though. So they miss out on the 2 damage. If they leave the Thalia in play and just spend 3 mana Abrade the Chalice, then they get to keep the Ponder that they threw away, but they also leave the Thalia in play. But the next turn they can untap, Lavamancer down the Thalia. I don't know. I wonder if they didn't Abrade that turn. Is there any matchup you're excited to have Tithe Taker in, or is it a shot in the dark? It's neither. I think the card is like pretty grossly unplayable, but it was a donation list so that I could convince myself that it was actually pretty grossly unplayable. Also, like, Grixis control, I could see it not being the worst, since that's a matchup you do like being more safe on your own turn with like equipment and stuff. The control matchups is where I think it is best, and I don't think it's particularly good in those anyway. I do think Tithe Taker is like pretty atrocious. I think this hand is also kind of atrocious. It's like just good enough to keep. Considering the amount of decks we played where Plow is good today. Also just like turn 1 Vial and Mom, and Wasteland is a good hand. Yeah, I'm not sure if not sure if the Abrade was off the top or they actually had it and the other one was better. I would definitely respect, because if they just naturally Abrade, they're also opening up their Lavamancer to dying by like a 1-drop removal spell. Hey bro, I heard you like Plow, so here's some Storm. Ray, remember that one time where I kept the 3 Wasteland hand and I was like, alright, what's the worst deck I could possibly keep triple Wasteland against? And then we queued into Manaless Dredge? That's just my life. Played against Tor earlier. Oh, well, I was gonna... Alright, so Tess, that's... Well... Damn it, Chyleth! I was gonna guess Red-Black Reanimator, but then they exiled Ponder, so now we're just fucked. Chyleth, I hate you so much. Hopefully my opponent tendrils is me for exactly 20. Source looking really hot right now, yeah. Why wouldn't I, in one matchup would I not possibly want 2 double Sword of Plowshares? No one doesn't play creatures, right? Tendrils for exactly 20. Yes, that's my plan. Please tendrils me for exactly 20, opponent. Just like Adnaz with 4 floating. Yeah, nice. Why does Moto hate me? Yeah, I don't know why Moto hates me. We can plow 2 goblins. Moto has a 6 sense of humor today. Alright, how dead are we? Not dead yet. They need like an LED, right? Something to empty their hand, or just a payoff. There's a Burning Wish. There's 2 Burning Wishes. There's 3 Burning Wishes. This is probably enough to kill me. But they get to go for free until... Alright, well, that's definitely enough to kill me. At least you're not staring down a Hanwar Garrison with a Chalice in play and 2 Plows in hand. Opponent doesn't have any discard spells. So we can just sit here, hang out for a little bit. I don't have to concede to it. I mean, I guess they already know what I'm on, so I don't... Conceding to a discard spell is kind of irrelevant. What's up, Goblin Lackey? We're actually getting horribly savage today. Some really bad beats today, but that's... Oh, opponent tutored the tendrils. He did it. Is that Violin the Mom to show dominance? Violin the Mom plow it, hold priority plow it. Yeah, we're getting pretty ranch. We're already 1-3, and then we kept a 2 plow hand, and then we queued into Tess. After playing like 3 Delver decks. Today is not my night, for sure. So what are the cuts here? Well, Tithe Taker is pretty unplayable versus Storm. So is Plow. Wow, do we just have, like, more bad cards than we could possibly want? We do. We're down 1. Cast the Plows in response to the Burning Wish. Just add to the Storm count. Cast the Plows in response to the Storm trigger before the Storm trigger resolves. Is that... Oh, I forget if it tracks that. Does the triggered ability track if more spells are cast after it? After the trigger happens? Sometimes Legacy Leagues are pure brutality. Yeah, for sure. It's not even, like, worst matchups. We played against, like, some favorable matchups and then just lost them to some bad beats. But that's life. Not too upset about it. No, Tithe Taker's been, like, actively rancid. Yeah, this is a donation deck list. It worked once. So yes, it did do something once, kind of. It locks in the Storm count? Alright, yeah. We'd have to do it in response to the Burning Wish, then. It did help a Prelate resolve. In a matchup that we, like, very readily could have won anyway. There's a chance we would have lost without it, maybe, but... Pretty funny Tithe Taker is the same. Yeah, Tithe Taker in the set where, like, Blue wants to be casting spells on its own turn. Anyway, what's my last card that I'm bringing in? Some people said Walking Ballista. Man, yeah, having Walking Ballista seems really bad here. We actually just don't have enough. Like, the sideboard map does not look good against Storm. I guess you'd, like, what, Judgment of Chromox? That seems kind of bad. Yeah, well, those hands a keep. Chalice on 0, Chalice on 1. They don't have Dread Knight, they're Test, not Ant. Judgment can randomly tag, like, artifacts if they play them out to play around Thalias and stuff, but Sand seems like a pretty easy snap keep. I don't know that. Can you please show me a single test deck list that plays a Dread of Night? Yeah, unfortunately, this is not the game that we want to draw double chalice. We want to draw double chalice on the draw. We need to the game on the play is a lot easier to win. Their chalice answer is Pulverize if they can Burning Wish into it and we find nothing else, yes. And also, like, 2 mountains? Is that the cost? They're also mulliganing to 5 again. They mulliganed 5 and then killed me on turn 2 last game, so... Or was it turn 3? No, because the vial was still on 1. Yeah, they just killed me on turn 2. Maybe they were on the play. I forget. Charles on 2 seems really ambitious. If we draw like a... I don't even know, a 3rd chalice, I'll think about it. I was gonna say, well, like, the awkward thing is that this Thalia makes me want to play the chalice on 1 right now less, but it also, like, makes it harder to play the chalice on 2. So I think I'm definitely gonna play the Thalia this turn, but then we can always play chalice on 1 the following turn. But also, it just gives them more to deal with. They can't just, like, Burning Wish for Pulverize or whatever. Now I'm just going to Chalice on 1. You have another land to put a Chalice. Yeah, that was my plan. Just get the clock going before Chalice on 1-ing. Well, they have the lands. They have the lands to go get pulverized. Then they have to beat Athalia. Just on the goldfish calls both Ant and Tess Ant. Well, that's helpful. Yep. Burning Wish for pulverize, it looks like. Yup. But that also puts them down on mana. They would have to pulverize, then go off through Athalia, or they just have one land left. Thanks for the bits, Aisha9. I think I'm gonna Stoneforge here. Less mana efficient, but it lets me, like, have the Skull backup plan if their plan is to, like, make some empty tokens. I'd be very impressed if they go in here. Yeah, I'd be alarmed. That's for sure. Went off of like 2 mana through Athalia, that'd be kind of horrifying. They can also like hold on to the pulverize, not cast it yet. It prevents me from like doing things with equipment as easily. Yeah, they're like Burning Wished again for a massacre. Oh, fuck. Please no. They could be floating mana to pulverize, that's what it looks like, yeah. Yeah, this is fine now. Now we get a Thalia with a sword on it, and now it's immune to bounce spells or massacres, and they have 1 land in play. Yeah. Like I said, unless they could go off the turn they pulverized, I don't think it was going to end well for them because they have to sack 2 lands for it. You stand across some Brand Coke and you lose the die roll. He snap keeps 70. You can see Dark Red Duress. Probably? Maybe not. This was indeed a questionable. I mean, maybe they're out. No, they couldn't have had any outs. Just like casting the Ponder. If their plan was pulverize cast Ponder, they were just stone dead because they don't get to cast another spell. They're just going to die. What am I doing? Just running it back, probably. Ballista still sucks a lot. Everything else also sucks. The only other option is some nonsense like Judgment or Cataclysm. Which Cataclysm and Judgment both get a lot worse on the play. Just run it back. We just need to draw, like, double Chalice Thalia hand again. And we could also still die because they could turn 1 me on the play this time. I don't think this hand is good enough on the draw. Are we just, like, aggressively mulling for Chalice? Catan Priest might be better than Ballista. What, just, like, adds a 2/2 for 2? If that's the case, then I guess he always eats goblins, whereas Tithe Digger just, like, trades with 2. So maybe not. I don't think that 60th card matters a lot in this matchup. I don't think this hand is very keepable. Does have a Thalia in it, but we are also on the draw, and it is Tess. And we have 3 Flicker Wisps. And we also don't have a second land. I think I might have to keep this, even though this hand is marginally better than the first hand, but also pretty bad. We need to scry into Chalice, Stoneforge, or yeah, that's about it. The play cards that actually matter. Chalice is the only thing on turn 1, and Stoneforge is the only thing if they like empty me on turn 1. I don't think I can go to 5 just looking for Chalice, especially if we just get Thoughtseized and die. This hand already gets, like, Thoughtseized and dies. But it's hard to find a hand that has, like, 2 of Thalia/Chalice. Nope, don't want that. Oh, well, we're dead. Both teams tried hard. Oh, nope. Running out Mox Opal on turn 1 seems loose. I think I'm gonna, like, Simian Spirit Guide out this Thalia. Well, I'll draw most hands, get Thoughtseized, and Diver's Test. Yeah, that's basically the life. In the vein of, like, Anti-Storm, we're going to run out Mother of Runes instead of Aether Vial here. If we actually get to turn 2, we want Mom to protect the Thalia from, like, a bounce spell. I would be pretty surprised if we got to turn 2, though. We're also playing the Crocus in case we draw Wasteland or Port, so we can play the Thalia around Massacre. Just pass the turn. Just pass it. Just hand it over to me. Stop doing math. Oh. Alright. I dig it. Oh, we drew Stoneforge. That's nice. Can't play around Massacre, unfortunately, but opponent didn't Burning Wish yet. If we draw a Port, yeah, that was essentially my plan. Draw a Port or a Wasteland. I think I might have, if I'd drawn a second Caracas, I might have also just, like, done that. Alright, they can Burning Wish here. Burning Wish Massacre me next turn. That's not great. Because they can just Massacre me into going off, probably. Let's just draw Sanctum Prelate, please. If only I had a Vial in play. Then I could Vial in the Thalia after picking it up with Caracas, because this is my turn 3. But also, if we had played the Vial instead of the Mama, there's a chance that on turn 2 my opponent could have just, like, Chain of Vapored my Thalia and killed me on this turn, so not positive that playing the Aether Vial was correct there. I think I like my line more. Question is, I don't think I play the Stoneforge, because my opponent's going to Massacre me next turn anyway. Do I attack with Mom? Probably. We just, like, play a Vial, attack with both. I think I would have played Vial on one. I don't know. Playing Vial opens you up to just getting the Thalia bounce and dying, which is something that's definitely relevant against Ant and Tess. So sometimes there is a decision between playing Mon and playing Vial on turn 1. The Caracas might have changed the math a little bit because of this fail case of, oh, if we actually do get to turn 3, there's a chance that, like, the Caracas plus Vial plus Thalia can save us. I don't know. A lot of things needed to, like, break the way they did in order for the Mom play to be worse than the Vial play. They have consistent access to Massacre. I mean, they have, like, 4 Burning Wishes, right? Versus, like, I don't know the number of bounce spells that they have, but it's usually, like, I've seen 4 Echoing Truths recently as, like, the tech. I don't feel like that's right, but some number between, like, Chain of Vapor's Echoing Truths. I can see it being a better line than against Ant than Tess, just because Ant is worse at finding their Massacres or Dread of Knights. Versus, well, yeah. Wait, I'm just passing? Alright. Well, he can't pass another turn. Truth wasn't a problem. We don't know the truth was. Like, they could have, like, Petal. They could have done, like, Petal on my turn, on their turn 2 before I played my second land. Yeah, the most recent Bryant list is 4 Echo, and last time I played against Tess, I surgicaled them, and they were just on like 4 Echoing Truths. Do I play a Stoneforge now? I mean, like, getting a Stoneforge swept away by the Massacre isn't the worst. But it also isn't necessary, right? I guess if we play Stoneforge now and then we draw a 5th land, we don't die somehow, we have our Thalia back in our hand, we can play the sword, Vial the Thalia, equip the sword. Truth potentially answers Mary Latron. Yeah, but like they can also play Chain of Vapor and other bounce spells. It doesn't need to be 4x Echoing Truth. I thought that like varying it between like 1 and 2 mana spells, but I guess Bryant's are like really scared of Chalice of the Void specifically. And they can like pick up a Chalice on 0 and 1 with it. Versus Chain of Vapor being cheaper. I'm unsure. Oh, he's just tossing a Stoneforge into the void here. It also incentivizes them to pull the trigger, though, and I don't want them to pull the trigger. I want them to pass the turn to get me this Vial on, too. Also, I'm not going to attack with the Mom this turn because they have mana up this time. Don't want them. I want them to have to cast Massacre on their turn to use up a mana. Maybe anything with Chrome Moxen being bounced. I mean, the same thing. You can do the same thing with Chain of Vapor, right? You just sack your lands, pick up all your stuff. It's easier with Echoing Truth because you don't need to have as many lands in play, but you also need to have a bunch of artifacts with the same name in play. So I don't know. I have the Fear, and I'll play the Vial. The hate cards have narrowed, so going specifically after Chalice. Yeah, it's definitely not terrible. I do think Chalice is like pretty well positioned right now. I'm thinking about like still thinking about experimenting with like a Chalice Taxes deck that doesn't. It'd probably look more like what was the guy that Math Souls deck than White Eldrazi? Because White Eldrazi just like doesn't appeal to me in the same way. Math Souls deck was definitely closer to the thing I wanted to try. Don't know why my opponent doesn't just. I don't know. Sure. Guess this is a reason to play Stoneforge after they Echoing Truth my Aether Files. It's a weird game. We just draw like Chalice or Prelate and just punish them. Ugh. It doesn't punish them fast enough. It does make them pull the trigger, though. I just play a grab Prelate and just force them to do something now. So now we can attack with the Mom again. Recruiter for Prelate. Prelate means that they have to finally pull the trigger. It also means you get Prelate on 2. I'm Prelating on 4. They have a Massacre in hand. Oh, okay. If they Massacre me, then we Prelate on 2. Yes. I think that is what you meant. Or what the intent was. But also for the people that don't know they have a Massacre in hand. If people just like walk into the stream. Opponent probably has to do math to see if they can kill me. Alright, well, the answer is maybe. Like this Mox Opal hasn't done anything yet. Nice. They pass the turn. I dig it. So now we just Prelate on 2 and Thalia? I guess they could... No, they can't pass Inflames Massacre. That's not how this card works. Yeah, I don't know what the heck is in their hand, but their hand must be just terrible. They're just, like, flooding out in their 13-land deck or whatever. I definitely thought we were dead, like, the past 4 turns, and just nothing has happened. Yes, they could pass the Flames Massacre. They would need, like, a lot of mana. They would need 10 mana. Alright, well, we managed to beat Tess. A weird day. We beat Tess and then, like, lost 2 good matchups in whatever the Phoenix matchup is. But, verdict is Tithe Taker is unplayable garbage. There are so many decks that, like, actually don't care about Tithe Taker. This card is very bad. I don't think Afterlife 1 makes this card anywhere close to playable enough. I think if you want this effect, you want Grand Abolisher, because it actually, like, completely protects you during your turn. Like, feeling safe on your turn is a cool thing, especially against, like, control decks or even against Delver, if you're, like, trying to do stuff with your equipment. But, like, Tithe Taker is just so bad. All the counters in this format are free. They can leave up 1 mana and they can still daze your thing or counter, or, like, Force of Will your thing. It explodes into a 1/1, which isn't nothing, but it isn't something either. It's not good. It's very not good. I'm never playing this card in Legacy again. But our mono white deck can't support white on turn 2. Is Grand Abolisher really good for Legacy control? I don't think it is. That's the thing. Like, I mean, if it's in my deck, I probably wouldn't cut it because it's like better than some random stuff. But like, I think Grand Abolisher isn't very good for Curses Control. I don't think Tithe Taker is good for Curses Control. As a bad Grand Abolisher that like makes a 1/1, it's like very, very bad versus Miracles because the making the 1/1 doesn't have any text. It's just bad Grand Abolisher that hits fetch lands. It's just not good. Don't do it. Just don't. Just don't play it. It's unplayable. You're just cutting down on slots for good cards in your deck. We could have been playing like a Ballista in the main, and a Hallowed Spirit Keeper, and a Remorseful Cleric. You just have more room. But but on the other hand, Third Chalice is great. I kind of want to make room for Third Chalice in my sideboard of my actual deck list, but sideboard slot's like pretty constrained. Maybe I will finally cut the Third Recruiter, but I like the Third Recruiter. But maybe it's just not necessary in this meta, at least. The decks I'm playing against are not decks where like the Third Recruiter matters, more than like a Third Chalice would matter. Because I've been hitting a lot of the Delver decks, the Phoenix decks, just a lot of aggressive things, and still fair amounts of combo. I've been seeing a lot less grindy stuff on Moto recently. So maybe the Recruiter is just not as good as a Chalice, because Chalice is better against combo than Recruiter would be, and Recruiter is just not super great against aggro at all. So it doesn't matter that much. I don't hate that. I'll have to mull it over. There's a lot of aggro. Yeah, definitely. We've shifted. We've shifted several times since you're still on Blessed Alliance in your actual sideboard. No, I cut it for a Holy Light, and then I think I cut it for a Second Path again. I don't know if I ever changed it. No, we were still playing the Holy Light, but I haven't edited it. Holy Light's unplayable garbage. I don't mind Blessed Alliance, but they're probably both just worse than Path. I'm very scared of some of the more combo-heavy Phoenix decks. Yeah, the Phoenix decks are weird. They're still, like, kind of, like, moving around. I don't know what the final Phoenix deck is going to get nailed down to look like. I keep having very close games against it, and I feel like a deck like this is favored, but I'm not sure. I'm definitely looking forward to testing against it if it actually settles down on, like, what the stock Phoenix deck should be. The ones that are still trying to play actual normal Legacy aren't bad, yeah. The ones with, like, the mentors and stuff. There's just, like, a lot of crazy things happening with that deck. I might have to play Holy Light. People love their Grixis Delver. I don't know. Holy Light's is so bad. If there were, like, a good... Is there a non-terrible solution to Mentor? Miracle's weird because Mentor wants you to fight on a different axis than in Treeless. Yeah, that is one issue that, let me get these one at a time. So, I kind of want to, like, find a better sideboard card specifically against Delver decks, but I haven't, like, found the card that I want. Like, the Brightling isn't bad, but It's like still bad against True Name. I haven't really found like a good sideboard card that's like, yeah, this is great against Delver. I want it all the time. About the mentor thing, I think the answer is just like you have to leave in some number of plows now. The more the mentors you see, the worse the matchup is, and I think you're good enough against the Entreat versions that you can afford to try to play some plows to just like try to dirtily answer mentors. Very serious about Halo. Are we talking about Ruined Halo against Delver? Because it's definitely not this. I guess it's a good solution against Phoenix. Not the solution, but it's like good against Phoenix and Delver decks. Maybe it's okay. What's the text on Ruined Halo again? Ruined Halo. It's a you gain protection from the named card or something. As it enters the battlefield, name a card. You have protection from the chosen name. You cannot be targeted, dealt damage, or enchanted by anything with that name. I'd sooner run Warship. Warship. Now we're talking. No. Ruined Halo is notably half the mana of Warship. If you're playing Warship, you're just playing Settle the Wreckage to beat Delver, right? To beat Grixis Delver. How much does it matter that TNN is a moat? Like a decent amount. You have outs to it because you have a lot of flyers and like and equipment, specifically sort of fire ants that go around it. Usually TNN as a like if you're on the back foot, TNN is really bad because TNN is going to kill you because it's unkillable, unblockable. If you're on the front foot, TNN really slows the game down to a halt because it's very hard to attack through it, but generally you're favored in that sort of scenario because a lot of your cards are better than your opponent's cards. Yeah, it's better when it's like protecting something, but Delver isn't protecting anything besides their life total. Yeah, if they play TNN and they kill all your Flicker Wisps and stuff, it can get a little awkward, but it's definitely less scary when it's like moting you. Maybe like a Meekstone? They bring an artifact removal though, so I don't love Meekstone. But I also don't love Crackdown because it's like 8 trillion mana. I think honestly the answer is just like accept that some of your losses will be to True Name and try to maximize your games against like maximize your win percentage against Grixis Delver outside of it. So there will be some number of non-games where they just have an aggressive start and they just True Name you to death, but Meekstone is neat. Problem is like relying on artifacts against Delver. They usually like artifact removal is their #1 bring in. I saw someone with TNN and GTA main deck bring in double Tread of Night. Whenever my Grixis Delver opponents play GTA, I die a little inside. That card is so rude. Also Dread of Night, but that's a whole different story. Kind of happy that more Delver players don't play Dread of Night. I wonder if they think the matchup is good enough, or just like it's too narrow. I don't know. But anyway, verdict is Tithe Taker, unplayable garbage. Just don't register it. Please don't ask me if you should register it, because the answer will be no. It's bad. It's really bad. It's just so bad against so much of the format. Is Anyway, let's go find someone to host. Probably just can't spare the sideboard slots. Yeah, that's my thought. It's like a little bit too narrow. And Devon Texas isn't like that bad of a matchup. It is typically regarded as unfavored for the Delver player, but like not by a huge margin or anything. Well, let's just go with Card Kingdom. They're playing some Paper Legacy, but also the only other Legacy stream on right now, so. Someone's playing Twin? Legacy Twin? Alright, let's go. Let's host this. They have Lily Last Hope. Yeah, but Lily Last Hope's also like 900 mana, so that card also seems kind of greedy. March Casualty is probably just like the good non-narrow card that we also got absolutely savaged by today. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching today. Hope you had a good time. like I mentioned before, today's deck list was a donation deck. So if you want to support the channel outside of subscribing or following, you can also donate to get a deck list of your own played. The rules for that are all down below on the stream, as well as links to my YouTube and Twitter where you can follow me or subscribe for all the stream videos go up on YouTube, and all my scheduling is up on Twitter and stuff like that. Playing fast and loose with the outro today. Anyway, catch you guys all tomorrow at the normal time, normal deck. Still want to mess with some like Chalice D&D nonsense. I need to like figure out a list and see if it's horrible. Anyway, see you guys all tomorrow. Half Tails more or less playable in Tithe, probably more. Anyway, bye.